within the organization. Staged representation is evaluating the maturity of the organization and suggesting directions for improvement. ISO 13485-2016 is an international standard of medical device quality management system. ISO 13485-2016 stipulates requirements for the entire stages of the medical device, including design and development, production, storage, delivery, installation, service, final dismantling, disposals of medical devices. This is the model design plan. It is hard to understand the current maturity status of medical device quality management system. So I made the integrated model of medical device quality management system based on CMMI by mapping the requirements of ISO 13485-2016 and specific practice of CMMI. First, I mapped the ISO 9001 with the CMMI and then connect the ISO 9001 with ISO 13485. There are several studies which integrating the ISO 9001 and CMMI in the previous study. And ISO 13485-2016 provide the correspondence between ISO 13485-2016 and ISO 9001-2015 in the Annex B of ISO 13485-2016 standard. These are the actual mapping results. This is maturity level 2. And this is maturity level 3. And this is maturity level 4. And this is maturity level 5. In the CMMI part, there are maturity level, process area, and specific goals and practices. In ISO part, there are clauses of ISO 9001 and 13485 requirements. In the second step, I removed the specific practice of CMMI and ISO 9001 clauses to complete the model. There are stages of maturity and process area of CMMI and requirements of ISO 13485-2016. By this model, maturity of medical device quality management system can be easily checked due to the staged representation. In the completed model, there are only maturity level and process area and ISO 13485 requirements. Conclusion. This study proposed a model that could represent the requirements of the ISO 2016 in the staged representation using the CMMI model. The model was constructed by connecting the mapping of CMMI, ISO 9001, ISO 13485, connecting the structures of CMMI, ISO 901, and ISO 13485, and connecting CMMI directly to ISO 13485-2016. This integrated model is expected to facilitate the maturity of current current quality system within the comprehensive frame of the quality management system to improve maturity and performance of the quality system and to solve one of the problems found in the Korean medical device industry. The benefit of this model is as follows. First, easy to check the current medical device quality management system maturity level status. Number 2, improvement in performance and maturity of medical device quality management system. Thank you.
Hello, I am presenter Yongjun Kim. I present the paper, a study on the application of rule success cases through machine learning algorithm extraction. My presentation order is as follows. I will explain the research background, currently help freshmen and students who are about to graduate in college to decide their career, pass through personality tests and aptitude tests. Also, when companies conduct employment tests, the proportion of personality tests is increasing. Also, in the field of personality analysis, there was no quantification or systematic analysis of a person's personality. When validating a conventional personality test, it is necessary to borrow the knowledge of psychology experts. When psychology experts do personality analysis, there are times when each individual psychology expert has different opinion and views. So, it is necessary to use machine learning to help reduce the deviation. And when analyzing personality, it is necessary to help the analysis using supervised and unsupervised learning. And it only shows the association between each item and in the Big Five personality. In the traditional personality analysis that people who took the test knew, it is necessary to help people who have similar personality other than your own, and what kind of personality there are. The purpose of this study is first to help psychology experts make various analyses when making judgment, and to create a foundation that assists experts to analyzing using the least amount of time. Second, when performing psychological analysis, I analyze it is artificial intelligence and try to help by judging it is a data-driven approach. And by using the data collected through the questionnaire, you need to know specialized knowledge to help you know the similar characteristics using machine learning algorithms, the previous method of analysis. In this study, the study was conducted using the cross-industry standard process for data mining. First, before I get into the experiment, let me briefly explain the Big Five personality analysis. It is model compiled by Costa and McRae. It is currently the most widely accepted personality theory in the field of psychology. The table below shows the criteria used to find each element of the Big Five. In order to conduct this study, a questionnaire based on the Big Five personality analysis was produced. After that, the relationship between the contents of the questionnaire and the Big Five personality was defined. This table represents an example of the relationship defined. The data used in this study were collected using a questionnaire with a total of 44 questions and 5 answers that I made myself based on Big Five personality analysis. In this study, in the k-means algorithm, the k-value, which means the number of groups, was set to 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 parameters, and clustering was performed. Clustering was divided into successful and unsuccessful cases, and this study was conducted with only successful cases. This is the first of the successful cases of clustering first. This shows the number of people clustered in each group by visualizing the group divided into 3 groups by performing clustering with the K-mean algorithm. It can be seen that the visualization and the form of a group of people are well divided. This is the second case of successful clustering. It can be seen that the visualization and the form of the group of people are well divided. From here, I showcase this where clustering failed. When the 7 groups were grouped and visualized, the yellow group and the orange group show the distribution in which the boundary was not properly divided. Next, when 9 and 11 groups were grouped and visualized, the distribution showed more undivided boundaries. Based on the results seen earlier, this study was conducted by reconfiguring and clustering the data set using 3 and 5 groups, which are successful cases of clustering. In this study, in order to discover the properties of the group created through clustering and the rules of similarity included therein, decision-making rule was created and extracted using a random forest among supervised learning. It is highly reliable because it is judged based on successful clustering cases. The table on the left shows the rules of student personality found in the second group among the 3 groups in order of priority from 1 to 3. The table on the right transformed the rule into the Big 5 personality corresponding to each attribute. Based on table in the previous chapter, the second group's personality is expressed using the Big 5 Ocean technique and analyzed by BFI scoring. This table shows the result of the second group personality. This study is evaluated and verified through a case study. A case study was conducted by conducting the same survey as the undergraduate students to a total of 10 graduate students. 6 graduate students from the Department of Computer Engineering and 4 graduate students from the Department of Molecular Science at Aju University. I analyzed 10 graduate students as one personality group and analyzed 10 in the same way as in this study, and mapped the result of the undergraduate students through knowledge-based mapping. As a result of the verification, the graduate students mapped with the first group among the 3 personality groups was mapped to the 5th student out of 10 through the 3rd rule through the 6th rule. It was mapped with the 1st student out of 10. The graduate students were mapped to second group out of the 3 personality groups were mapped to the 9th out of 10 students through the 1st rule. And the 1st, 2nd, 7th, 8th at 10 students out of 10 through the 2nd rule. The graduate students mapped with the 3rd group out of the 3 personality groups mapped to the 6th student out of 10 through the 1st rule, and mapped the 3rd student out of 10 through the 5th rule. These are conclusions. First, a group based on similar personality was constructed by clustering using unsupervised learning. Rules were extracted and analyzing using supervised learning. I proposed a combined analysis model of unsupervised learning and supervised learning. For verification, a knowledge-based model was constructed and mapped to a case study. These are benefits of this paper. Through this study, data were constructed through direct survey on specific subjects. In addition, I proposed mapping based on psychological knowledge to connect individual and group individuals. In addition, the possibility of applying it to careers aptitude is left open for recommendations. Finally, I opened the possibility of using the verification part to connect the mentoring system. These are references that were referenced when the paper was written. That's it for the presentation. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Hello everyone. I'm presenter Yoon-Soo Park. I will present the paper study on wireless smart smoke device. Now I introduce the table of contents. First, this is the introduction of the current situation and problem with the exciting technology. Second is the related research on my subject and the system configuration. Third, I will explain the system configuration diagram of the proposed diagram and the flow chart. Fourth, I will explain the experiment results of the proposed algorithm. Fifth, I will explain the conclusion obtained through the experiment. Recently, Corona has become the biggest test, and states are seeking new quarantine method. Since quarantine use exciting smoke weapon to remove virus is not effective in operation, and management of equipment wireless smart smoke is enemy as an alternative. Therefore, this summary aims to increase the speed of quarantine and efficiency of measurement by remote control several quarantine devices based on the Apple through the wireless smart smoke quarantine system construction algorithm. Look at the picture for your reference. So, abnormal missed current device and other device 6 equipment for your reference. Current and central control, timer, metropolitan, current, harmful, the smoke, notification function. So many equipment supply some function. Look at the picture, another architecture model. So we some checking the function and the functional.